ethnocentrism related to culture. Ethnocentrism. I will be repeating this term time and again in our discussion of different topics. Ethnocentrism. Ethno, people. Ethno literal meaning is people, group, right? People, people's group. You can say people. Ethno means people. Centrism, like literal meaning may being centric towards our own people, our own culture, right? Or in other words, you must have read in NCERT also, like this ethnocentrism, obsession for our own culture, likedness for our own culture, obsession for our own culture, right? Keeping our own culture superior to the others, above others, right? This is ethnocentrism, right? And this ethnocentrism at times causes conflict also, right? Ethnocentrism being like considering our own culture superior to that of others. We see ethnocentric tendencies in many parts of India also, and particularly in urban settlements, right? Ethnocentrism, right? The elite class ethnocentric towards their own culture, right? Considering migrants culture, migrants way of life, behavior, right, as lower or degraded, right, and considering their own culture superior, right, over all others. Getting your point? So this is, and at times this also leads to conflict. Ethnocentric orientation we have seen in northeastern states, right? Conflict leading to conflict between Assamese speaking people and Hindi speaking people, isn't it, in Assam? Or Marathi speaking people and non-Marathis, right? Hindi speaking people, isn't it? Right? Or non-Marathis at time, Lungiwala, southern people from South India in Maharashtra. Like conflicts we have seen because of ethnocentrism, considering our own culture superior. At times, these are exceptions. These are not examples. Exceptionally, it takes place at times. Conflict, right? Ethnocentric conflict, like Germans and Jews, conflict between Germans and Jews. Germans were ethnocentric. Hitler was ethnocentric, considering his own culture superior than the others, right? So this is ethnocentrism. Ethnocentrism at times, leads to conflict. It leads to inward orientation. The societies which are ethnocentric are inward oriented, societies, right? Ethnocentric societies. Other term, related term is Genocentrism. Further, you will understand कि जहाँ पे ethnocentrism is high, their horizontal mobility is low. वहाँ पे horizontal mobility is low, right? People becomes inward looking. They look towards the social group, the people, the culture. They consider their culture as superior, their lifestyle, their food habits, their dress code. All aspects of these are all aspects of culture actually, and they consider these as superior, isn't it? Their occupation they consider superior, and they don't are much oriented towards change, isn't it? So आप देखेंगे कि जो ethnocentric society है उसमें social mobility is low, closed society है. जैसे आप देखेंगे रशियन का कल्चर, जर्मन का कल्चर, they're a little bit ethnocentric, right? So this is genocentrism. Genocentrism is, you can say, opposite to ethnocentrism. Here, obsession for our own culture, likedness for our own culture, orientation for our own culture, own people, and genocentrism means orientation, obsession for others' culture. Genocentrism, right? Like obsession for Western culture, right? Western culture के लिए obsession, like likedness for occupations in America, occupations in Europe, right? Their lifestyle, their food habits considered superior, isn't it? So this is called genocentric orientation. Like this is called genocentrism, right? Genocentrism leads to horizontal mobility. People have likedness for the culture of America, culture of Europe, their occupations, their lifestyle, their food habits, their dress code, right? Like serial monogamy, right? Here in India, bonded, and their serial monogamy, marriage, divorce, marriage, right? So like genocentrism, I mean obsession for others' culture, right, is referred as genocentrism, and this leads to horizontal mobility. Ethnocentrism leads to low horizontal mobility, causes low horizontal mobility, low movement, low change also, right? So this is now, and ethnocentrism leads to conflict. Similar to that, genocentrism also. If people are genocentric, right, and if there are large exodus of people from one place to other place, other cultural settings or other social cultural, units. So there also we see like these days, conflict between or tension between Asians and Americans, Native Americans and migrant Asians, right? So this is other term is cultural relativism.